Welcome to Psychic Insights, where pop culture meets higher consciousness and the tea is always a little bit mystical. I'm Robin Richardson, your psychic girlfriend, and around here we don't just watch the drama unfold. We read the energy behind it, whether it's celebrity scandals, reality TV, chaos, or true crime with a twist. I'm tuning in to bring you the intuitive scoop the headlines miss. So buckle up, because your aura's about to get entertained. Welcome back to my channel. It's Robin Richardson, your psychic girlfriend. Oh my gosh, can we talk? This is part 2 because I had to do an episode on the bonus wellness checks from Love Trap the podcast. So welcome back. If you are new here, welcome. And do me a favor and like and subscribe if you like this kind of content, and leave a comment, especially if it's kind. Okay, so if you listen to Love Trap the podcast, I have been following this. I love this podcast. I'm going to cover episode 10. And we're at the point in the story where we're in the investigation, the evidence, the felony charges. And I'm just going to say, when I listened to this, there were moments when I paused and I thought, oh, wait, what? What's happening here? All right. Remember, I'm not here to decide guilt or innocence. I'm here just doing my spiritual inquiry, my psychic insights, and my personal feelings and commentary. But I really wanted to ask the question, what actually is true underneath all of this? So let's start here. There's a line in the episode that really sets the tone, for me anyway. The investigators say Laura Owens created a scheme, I always want to do that, a scheme to elevate her notoriety by fraud, trickery, and deception. And that's not vague, that's direct. So I pulled cards, because that's how I do. I do need some wine, but I'm going to go to the gym first. All right. Was this intentional or something she believed was real? The first thing was sun, woman, birds. And as you know, this is where it gets interesting, because the sun is clarity and awareness. The woman is her. And the birds, this is communication, nervous talking, reacting. So it doesn't feel like confusion, especially with our sun, right? Especially with the sun. It feels like awareness and communication and active engagement in the narrative. Okay. Doesn't feel like someone completely lost in a belief. This feels like someone actively participating in what's being said and how it's being said. And that matters because it sets the tone for everything else. Cards don't lie, man. All right, then we talk about the felony charges. And we hear the grand jury indicted her on several felony charges, including fraud, forgery, perjury, and tampering with evidence. So now we're not talking about one issue. We're talking about multiple charges across different areas. So I asked, what is the truth behind these charges? And what I got was mountain, heart, and bouquet. And remember, it's all layered. We got layers. The mountain is something hitting a wall. The heart is emotion, desire, and attachment. And the bouquet is presentation, how something is shown. So this feels like emotion is driving the situation that ultimately can't hold up. And this feels like something that mattered emotionally to her, which I think it's true. It does. But something that needed to look a certain way, and that's where it starts to break. Like, we talk a lot about reputation of the Owens family, right? All right, so then the investigation report is covered in this episode, and this is where, for me, everything changes. We hear the investigation report detailing the evidence they found to support every felony count. And then the sonogram was actually that of her sisters. And that's a big deal. So I asked, what truth in this report changes the entire narrative? And we got, no surprise, we got mice, tree, and stars. So let's, remember, if you guys follow along, the mice erode, things fall apart. The tree is time, and usually it's a long time. Long story. We've been hearing about this for years now, right? And the stars are clarity. So this tells me this wasn't one big reveal. This was the story slowly breaking down over time. The details not matching, not lining up. This wasn't a single moment where everything fell apart. This is the kind of situation where the closer you look, the more doesn't hold. I think that report was like 118 pages or something. Very thorough. All right, so let's talk about the evidence, right? Then we hear something else that really stands out. Owens had gone to a med spa and purchased HCG, injections delivered to her home, and not wanting her family to know. When you hear that, you have to go, okay, now we're on a different level of detail. So I asked, what piece of evidence most clearly points to intent? And we got house, whip, and snake. The house is a private life. What's happening behind closed doors. The whip, repetition and patterns. And the snake is manipulation, complexity. So this doesn't feel like a one-off. It feels like repeated behavior in a private setting with an element of strategy or manipulation. Right? Okay. Of course, this doesn't feel random. It feels like something was happening more than once and not just publicly. So then we get to Mike and his DVRO renewal. And honestly, we hear at the last minute Laura Owens filed once again to renew her domestic violence restraining order. And this is happening after everything else. So I asked, what is the true intention behind continuing legal action against Mike? And we got letter, fox, and bear. The letter is legal documents, the fox is strategy, and the bear is power. It's very direct. It's calculated. It's strategic. It's really about control. So it's not an emotional reaction. It's not, I feel for my safety. It's like a move, like something that's meant to maintain a position. And again, it somehow, for me, it feels like it continues her narrative so that she can continue to sell it. All right, and this is the pattern where it comes together. And we hear the amount of time, energy over the last decade fighting this. This is from Danielle and Mike Maricini. A decade. 10 years. So I asked, what pattern connects all of this? And we got stork, ship, and clouds. The stork is change. The ship is movement. New situations, new people, and the clouds are confusion. And this pattern looks like things shift, new situations, and then confusion follows over and over again. And this is where it stops feeling like isolated events and starts feeling like a cycle. And so finally we hear, and this is the motive piece that I wanted to talk about or ask, we hear Owens attempted to elevate her notoriety and increase her commercial value. So that's one perspective. But I wanted to go deeper. What is the true motive behind all of this? And I got dog. He and child. The dog is loyalty. We've talked about this. Dog is loyalty, connection. The key is truth. And child is something new, a beginning. So at the core, it feels like a desire for connection, for something to start, for something new to start, for something to work. But the way it was pursued is where everything became distorted. And at the core, it doesn't feel purely malicious. It feels like a desire for connection that didn't unfold in a grounded way. So when I step back and look at episode 10, the charges, the evidence, the investigation, it's not random chaos. We know that. It's a pattern, it's repetition, and narrative shaping over time. And once you see that, you really can't unsee it. And after everything in episode 10, this doesn't feel like a story. It feels like a pattern. And we've talked about this over and over and over again with her. And you know it. I know it. And the cards know it. But if you've been listening to Love Trapped, I'd love to hear what stood out to you. And let me know if there's questions you'd like me to ask the cards. And I'm thinking about doing them live. So if you'd like that, let me know. And I'll schedule something. And we'll see what happens. We'll roll the dice. Okay. I'm Robin Richardson, your psychic girlfriend. Thank you for liking, subscribing, and ringing that bell. You don't want to miss any of this. And I will see you in the next one.